write his own history.
Hi, what's up everyone, and welcome back to a new video. And this is actually my first video on boxing, so I hope you guys like it. So as we know, in less than 48 hours there's going to be one of the biggest rematches of the year and probably all time in terms of heavyweight fights. As you just saw, that was the clip of AJ going down in the 7th round for the 4th time back in June in Madison Square, New York. And obviously this was a very this was an interesting fight, because going into the fight, Andy Ruiz, the Mexican, he was relatively unknown, didn't really have a following, no one really knew who he was, and he was the underdog, completely the underdog. And despite his rankings, obviously he's won 32 out of 33 professional fights. Obviously we know that AJ here, he won 22 fights at that point before he lost to Andy. Andy is an incredible fighter, and it was a real shame how much people were hating on him and taking the piss out of him, saying he's a fat guy and what's he doing there, he doesn't deserve to be there, and so on. So it's been interesting to see how he's developed over the last few months in terms of his following and support. He's definitely not an underdog now. Many people, other professional fighters such as Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have cited and said, we know that Andy's got this again, AJ's not going to have it. Funny enough, Tyson Fury in an interview actually mentions that in every professional fighter's career they normally find their bogeyman, and he says that unfortunately in AJ's case he's found him, and that is Andy. And he says no matter what happens in terms of AJ's training and prep and whatnot, he's already mentally beaten. Stepping back into that ring, he's going to have to overcome that fear, and obviously remembering what happened before, and the pressure's even higher than it was last time. So he says he's found his bogeyman. I would agree. I think he's finally met his match. Not to say that he's going to lose to him again. I'm going to be completely objective on this. I'm not going to say who I think's better and who's going to win. I feel they've both got a chance. Obviously we know that in the 3rd round it was actually AJ who put Andy down first, so it's not like he can't do that. He has obviously the potential, the power, and the boxing technicalities to do so. However, as we saw in the fight, pretty much from the 5th round onwards, Andy dominated, and AJ couldn't come back. Obviously he kept his distance and he kept trying to get in there with him, but unfortunately AJ was struggling. He was gassed, he didn't know what to do. There was even a point where he was in the ring, he was like, what am I doing wrong, like what's happening, I don't understand, to his coach. So that was quite shocking in itself, that he really was taken back and didn't know what to do. The rematch will be taking place in Saudi Arabia, in Diriyah, which is a suburb of Riyadh. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a purpose-built 15,000-seater venue, which only has been completed within just 2-month time frame from the announcement of the fight being there, which is incredible. It does look absolutely breathtaking from the photos I've seen on Eddie Hearn's Instagram profile. And apparently, because obviously they have a very bad history of abysmal human rights controversy and global criticism, it's going to have some more relaxed laws to try and get around that, because Saudi Arabia wants to put themselves on the map as a global sports venue and a country for sports to be held, because obviously they tipped the post to Dubai and Cardiff for this one. So, and they have actually hosted fights before, such as Amir Khan and a few other sporting competitions. So they're hoping to put themselves on the map in 2020 moving forward as one of the places to go to. But obviously they've got a lot of work to do still in terms of changing people's views and perceptions on their country due to their human rights issues, particularly of women. So but I think it's going to be interesting to see. It'd be cool to be in a different venue, and as I've mentioned before, this is obviously AJ's chance to redeem himself. He's not done. He said, I'll fight until I'm 50. Professionally, we know that's not the case, because boxers only have a limited career for their age and fitness. As we know, there can be exceptions such as Klitschko. However, at the end of the day, the guy lost 3 titles, and to come back from that is going to take not a miracle but something quite special. He lost the WBA, the IBF and the WBO titles. And you know, this man, he wants vengeance. He wants his revenge. And you know, I believe that he is going to come in with a different approach. He obviously has learnt from last time. He's analysed the fight over and over again. But so has Andy. And obviously Andy didn't show any faults within his fight. He was very composed. He never went to AJ. He kept his cool, and he was playing with him, in my opinion. He looked like the whole time he was taunting him. He wasn't gassed. He wasn't tired. He was calm, calculated, and poised. And you know, he did what he was meant to do. He took it as a job. He was, you know, no bullshit, and went in and won the fight very easily, you know. So just looking here, the odds, the current odds are 25-1 on Anthony winning. I'm interested to see what you guys think. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go to a TKO for Andy or Anthony? Is it going to go to a split decision on points, or do you think something else is going to happen? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I said, I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to go for just Anthony just because he's English. I'm mixed on both of them. I personally would say, if I'm going to be completely objective, I think based on Andy's previous fight and where he is at the moment, I think that he could do it. But I'm rooting for both of them. They're both champions. They're both amazing boxers and athletes, and I really can't wait for the fight. So I hope you liked the video today, guys and girls. If you did, please remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please do subscribe. And like I said, leave some comments in the section below and let me know what you think about the fight this Saturday. So yeah, let's get ready to rumble. Until next time, guys, I'll see you soon. Omega One Fitness signing out.